this story, I told you guys yesterday, this is the story that's going to have to keep on giving because it's going to keep giving. Okay. We have yet to even completely unpack everything that's going to be involved in this story. Only thing I will not do is kind of rehash what's already going on. You're going to have to go catch the videos from yesterday, the day before, over the weekend. All right. So, what's new, Melissa? Well, listen. Astroworld investigators are now, remember, we have been, considering this rumor. The investigators are now probing whether a bad batch of illegal drugs laced with fentanyl played a role in the deadly Travis Scott concert. So shout out to you, Blessed Reborn Spirit, because that was your take from the jump. Okay. You were like fentanyl from the beginning. And so now the investigators are kind of following the rumors. Numerous concert goers who survived were given naloxone, which I'm sure I think it's one, whatever. I'm not medical, you understand. Which reverses opioid overdoses. So that's what's more important. There's nothing to reverse if there's nothing in the body. Okay. And so when the concert goers were passed out unconscious, they were given that drug and voila, it reversed the effects. So they're probing. The article states that the police are probing whether illegal drugs were laced and they were part of the Astroworld Festival on Friday. Now, we already reported the fact that the police chief said that there is some credence to the whole random needle in the neck thing from the medic. So there's already some credence to that. So now they're like, okay, it looks like we need to investigate. And that's what they're doing. 8 people ranging from ages 14 and 24 died, and hundreds more were injured after the crowd rushed the stage. See, that's what I'm saying. I said hundreds, and then some of the articles are like, oh, 17 injured. And I'm like, no. So he continued to perform for 30 minutes as people were killed and crowds chanted, "Stop the show, stop the show." As I reported yesterday, lawsuits are ensuing. He's giving refunds. He's paying for funerals. But guess what? That's not going to stop people's heads from turning. Someone will be held responsible for this because it's too much of a catastrophe, for someone not to be held responsible. So they are definitely investigating that. So let me show you this scene, because this is something that I found very interesting. Before I get to your comments, y'all already know I'm going to get in the comments, but this is something that it's a visual of what I have been explaining since the news. Okay, Miss Mouse don't want to work. That's fine. Forget you. Since Saturday. So this is a visual. Let me give you this visual. All right. Here we go. All right, here you go. So you see this map. This is a cute little map of let me take Mr. Travis off. We know who we're talking about. So this is like a staging map, so to speak, of the area that was used. And it gives a little brief timeline of things that were happening. So as you can see, towards the top right, this is where the VIP section was. And we did see where people were storming to enter the VIP section. Just as Alondra was said. Shout out to you, Alondra. And then, so that incident happened at 2 p.m. And as I stated, I have no idea why they didn't foresee the evening being just as disrespectful, so to speak. So anyway, this blue box down here is the main entrance, and right across was the VIP entrance, where it states that hundreds of people were filmed stampeding through the VIP checkpoint. Now, I did show that video. You're going to have to go back about 3 videos to see that. So anyway, if you look at the top right, so you're like, okay, so what happened in the afternoon, in the evening? The hot pink up top is the main stage. And, we were asking about the Astrodome. Well, no, they didn't use that. As you can see, as the concert was ensuing, people were beginning to rush towards the stage as Travis Scott was doing his set, and people were crushed. Essentially, that's what it was. And so I wanted to give you a overview, a visual, really, of what we have been talking about for the past couple of days. So as I stated, hold on. Time will only tell everything that's going to come out of this, So let's see. Yes, sadly, Janet DeBoer. I thought she did last year. I love Janet. Love her. COVID-19. Okay, we're not talking about that right now. Rest in peace. Yes, she did pass. Okay. All right, Gloria, you coming in with the C-19, but we thank you though, but that's not what we're talking about. Come through, Tina Turner, Mr. Bless, Mr. Bearing is blessed. Do. Okay. I'm just kidding. Yes. So anyway, Patrice says, if it's proven that he didn't stop and egg the crown on, he can possibly be held liable. And if he has any ownership in Astroworld or production of the show, my ex, who's an attorney, said allegedly. Girl, let me scroll. Listen, thank you. Listen. You already know I have Miss Allegedly scrolling. So yes, you're absolutely Patrice. If he, because it's the same thing, and it's the same argument that a lot of us have, that if the former President Trump has anything to do with the insurrection, he should be charged, which we have seen, him incite the crowd. So it's the same thing. We're fair and square over here, unfortunately for him, but it is what it is. Hey, family. Hey, that's what I call y'all. Y'all just family, aunties, uncles, all of that. Well, hope you're doing good, Natasha. So the other part about the whole thing is, let me share this with you, because we've been talking a lot about Miss Fortnite. Miss Fortnite has decided to part ways, in a sense, with Travis Scott. They stopped the sale of their Fortnite emote. So if you don't know what that is, the kids can kind of, emote is, it was hard for me to understand, because when my kids were playing it, I was like, what's an emote? So I sounded real old, but basically it's like an avatar, something that they can use. And yeah, that's the Travis Scott emote that's within the game. And so now they've taken it off. So he's catching all kind of hell at this point. And, because people are kind of like, it's just bad. It's just bad business at this point, bad vibes, so to speak. Maybe not business, but definitely vibes for sure. So, like I said, time is going to tell how this is going to end. We're just going to have to be patient. Like I told you, I will be rolling out the content as it comes in, but it seems, at number one, that, Fortnite has parted ways, but also that the investigation is definitely going into whether there was fentanyl available or kind of involuntarily, I don't know, at the show. Let's have some fun just for a little bit, lighten up the news. It's still going to be news, but it's going to be what kind of news? All right. So y'all heard it. It's ridiculous news time, And so, as I stated, I started this segment because even when I'm preparing for my show, I always seem to find the absolute crazy, ridiculous, funny. It doesn't matter. So anyway, the first thing that I found was, and it has to be in Florida. No, it says 7. So y'all bear with me, and as you bear with me, let's learn about this bear who wandered in people's backyard.
We begin with breaking news right now in San Dimas. Police swarming a local neighborhood, warning residents to stay indoors.
Y'all, look at him.
This big bear wanders through the area, going house to house, even taking a lap in a family's backyard swimming pool. Eyewitness News reporter Amy Powell live for us now in San Dimas with more of that amazing video. Amy.
And Mark, the bear was last seen here in the area of San Dimas Canyon Road and Baseline. It spent quite a bit of time in this neighborhood. Residents were frightened and fascinated.
Yeah.
A bear roaming around in the San Dimas neighborhood, causing quite a stir. Air 7 overhead as it calmly walks along walls between homes. The bear enters a backyard and sniffs around a barbecue grill. Residents in the neighborhood warned by police to stay in their homes. The big brown animal taking a dip in the pool at this home.
Look at him.
Brown was on the phone when he looked out the window.
I saw a bear jump in the pool. And I told my buddy, hey, I got to get off the phone. I got to film this. And so the next thing I know, the bear's just sitting on the steps, taking a little bath. Next thing I know, I get a knock on the front door, and the sheriff's department's here, and I want to see what's going on in the backyard. And
the bear moves on, continuing to scale walls.
Child, look at him.
Yards as police and animal control workers tried to steer it toward the mountainsides. At one point, it walked along a wall next to the 210 freeway, raising fears that it might walk onto the busy roadway.
Oh no, bear.
A few people recording video of their close encounters with the large animal as it lumbered through a field.
Saw the bear between the chain link fence once the commotion stopped, and a lot of people stopped and we saw it, and it seemed pretty peaceful, but yeah, you never know.
I actually hopped the fence right next to me, and I had to run to the neighbor's yard. That was pretty crazy.
What the heck?
Residents of this
Look at him.
neighborhood won't forget.
I was blown away. Like, what a Friday night. I was ready to go to bed, and the next thing I know, it's 8 o'clock, and a bear's in the backyard, and it was very surprising.
I mean, he chilling.
Again, that bear last spotted here a couple of hours ago. Officials believe it's familiar with this area. Hopefully,
It looks like it.
Back into the mountains.
Hello, I'm Mark Brown. Get more
Listen.
ABC7 content by clicking the subscribe button.
Listen, if I looked outside and saw a bear in our backyard, in our pool, chilling, walking along the wall, because we have the same kind of walls in the backyard, I'd be like, sir, seriously? Wow. And you know what? I must admit that, well, first of all, let me ask you this. What's common to roam around where you live at? So here we have coyotes. They howl all time. Like they get to going about 1 o'clock in the morning. And they get to howling, and that packs people, people have been known to have their small dogs get eaten. So what roams around where you're from? So now in Florida, of course, we know alligators. That is very, very common. So yeah, let me know what roams around. But yeah, what would you do? You look out back and there go a huge bear just walking around. Okay. I'd have been reporting from a car, not in the dark by a chain link fence. Okay. Yes, I would have been not by no chain link fence. We'd be in the van reporting in the back of the van for sure. Ain't nobody, and it was dark too. Absolutely crazy.